Over the past year, we've increased our model's earnings from 50K to 150K a month, and what made the difference might surprise you. When most models sign with us, they've usually been going through the same sort of problems. Their accounts either been destroyed by previous agencies, or they're literally burnt out from doing content which they don't even think is working. And most of the time they're ready to quit. But what actually changes when they start with us? Usually within 24 hours of plugging into our system, the creators usually see an increase of 500%. And that's straight off the bat. And in this video, I'm going to reveal the exact framework we use. The same one that we've applied across multiple models to generate consistent viral growth and genuine results. This isn't theory, it's not hype, it's the back-end system that turns struggling models into high earners fast. So let's dive in. First of all, we need to sort out the traffic which is coming into the account. It's very important to have a consistent flow of traffic constantly coming into the account, because otherwise what you're going to see is a spike for one day, so an increase of earnings for one day, and then straight back down once all of the subs have literally been rinsed. The way we get traffic in from the very first day is through three main platforms: Instagram Reels, TikTok Live, and X. So let's start with X, for example. As soon as we take on a model's X account, or we set one up for her, we do a couple of main things which is very, very important. First of all, we set up the sales funnel. And what I mean by this is the link which is going to go in her X bio. And because X is pretty friendly with X-rated content, you can put the OF link directly in the bio, which is actually really good for sub rate, right? So we put a tracking link in the bio so we can see exactly how many subs are actually coming from X. Second of all, we want to get the model into as many retweet groups as possible. So what are retweet groups? They're pretty much groups that have a lot of OF girls in already, that have a few thousand followers, maybe 50,000 followers, and they all retweet each other. So as soon as we set up the model's page, or we take the model account on, we can start getting traffic literally within the first day. So we can probably pull about 20 to 30 subs in the very first day of working with a model. So next I want to talk about TikTok Live. The main premise with TikTok Live, or the main goal should I say, is to get as much engagement as possible so your live is boosted up the algorithm. And on TikTok, there's a few ways that you can get engagement. The first way is with likes, the second way is with shares, the third way is with comments, and the fourth way is with gifts. So gifts is definitely the most important when it comes to engagement, because when a viewer gifts your live, TikTok is going to see that as, right, I'm making money with this live. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get boosted up the algorithm and get even more viewers through the door. The second way is comments, right? How can you get as many comments as possible on a TikTok live? Now, a couple of ways. You can name the live something like comment your location or comment for a rate. Now, obviously, this is going to increase engagement, right? As soon as people join the live, they're persuaded to comment straight away. And especially if they want to spark up a conversation with the model, they are definitely going to do it. So this is another good way. Next, you want to set some like goals. And what I mean by this is, for example, 5K likes and I will spin around, right? And if they hear your model say that, then they are obviously going to spam up the screen trying to see the model spin around, right? It's really as simple as that to increase engagement on TikTok Live. And in the very first day, you can easily be pulling 20 to 50 subscribers with 1 to 2 hours of live. And that's already $150 there and then. So what should your model be doing in the live? There's a couple of things really. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter, especially if she's pretty, she's going to get views anyway. But just for some ideas, she can literally just be engaging with the chat, or she can be folding clothes, or she could be cooking. Anything which is sort of going to retain engagement and be pretty fun to watch, right, is going to do well. And especially if she's pretty, she's going to do even better. In the TikTok bio, you want to send the viewers directly to Instagram. You don't want to have your OF link in the TikTok bio because your account's going to get banned. And from Instagram, you want to go to the link tree, and in the link tree, you only want one link in there, which is going to be the OnlyFans. You don't want to be having the model's Twitter, Reddit, all of these other platforms in the link tree, because it's just going to distract the subscriber, and he's going to try and go onto those platforms to see if he can get what he wants for free. And we definitely don't want that. So the next strategy is IG Reels. Now, first of all, you want to pick a niche for your model. So what does she enjoy doing? Does she go to the gym, or does she like doing cosplay? Whatever it might be, you want to try and get your model to jump into a niche. Now, of course, she can do the viral OF trends or the first traps, right? But you have to understand that this way, she's going to be competing with people like the Bot Pals and all the biggest creators on the platform. But when you actually pick a niche like gym niche, for example, it's way easier to dominate the space because the audience is way smaller. And if you actually manage to dominate the niche and get a big percentage of the audience, you're going to be doing doing insanely well. Now, you want to be posting at least 2 reels per day per account. Now, you can easily find content for your model to make by finding a few creators in the same niche, choosing the best content ideas which have performed the best on socials, and getting your model to recreate those videos. Now, obviously put your own spin on them, right? Don't copy them exactly, but if you're copying the concept of why the video have actually done well, then you're going to do well as well. So if you put those 3 tips that I just mentioned into play, your traffic is going to be completely sorted and you're going to be able to bring subs onto the Earth account within the first day. So now it's time for the management side of the account. How do we increase our model's earnings whilst managing the account? Now, of course, as you probably know, you need chatters on the account, but what a lot of agencies do wrong is they don't have it for 24 hours. Now, this is automatically putting you a step behind a lot of other agencies who have 24-hour coverage on the account. It's not enough to do 8 hours a day in the peak hours trying to just catch the best subs, because you're losing out on those other 16 hours. And on OF, every single hour of the day, there is someone prepared to spend money. Second of all, with every single subscriber that comes onto the account, you want to try and build the relationship as much as possible. You don't want to just rinse a subscriber for $500 on his first day, because he's just going to leave the platform and not come back, right? It's way better to retain that relationship and get $100 30 times, because you have to remember the subscribers aren't coming onto the account just for the content. They're coming on because they want to talk, right? And they want a relationship built. So that's when it's your job to be able to do that, so they stay on the account as long as possible, which is actually going to get you the most amount of money. So what content should you be selling on the OF account? Now, you want to sell something called a sequence. So what a sequence is a series of videos going from least explicit to most explicit, and throughout the conversation, as you're building the relationship and the conversation progresses, you're going to want to send these videos starting at $15, then going up to $25, $45, and then $65. So usually we're getting about $170 to $250 per script, depending on if he's a big spender. But try and make it so money is not the main focus. We want him to be enjoying the conversation, enjoying the content. We want the money to be the last thing he's thinking about. And when it comes to feed posts on the OF account, we want to be posting minimum 3 high quality pieces of content per week, and this is to retain the subs as much as possible. At the end of the day, they want to feel like they're getting their money's worth, and if they don't, they're not going to subscribe. And you want to make it seem like your page is ridiculously high value, so minimum 3 high quality posts a week, and the subscribers are going to be happy to carry on subscribing. This is going to be helped by your chatting as well. If you can chat really well, then you'll have subs staying with you for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We've had a sub stay for 2 years and he spent over $40,000 on one model. So if you've listened to everything I've said throughout this entire video, you've got the marketing strategies in place and also the management side of things, you are going to be able to make a significant increase on the creator's account the very first day you start working with her. And this is what's really going to improve your model's retention as well. If you can provide results straight away, no matter what else happens, you're going to have that model for a very, very long time, and she's going to be more than happy with working with you. And if you are a model watching this, tired of doing everything yourself, creating content, chatting, posting, managing your account, and you want us to help you scale your earnings whilst having the freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, DM me the word scale on IG is the first link in the description, and I'll see if I can potentially help you.